live, boom, record to this computer too. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining late, sorry, too bad, so sad you're not getting early. Today, I'm actually extremely excited and happy to introduce to you one of my dear friends and a good mentor in many other ways of life that you'll get to see today. And for those of you, if you're on Facebook, you're not looking at the title, but guess what? The title was not decided until about, 2 minutes ago, right? Because when you're a professional, in the kind quoted words of my friend this morning, you just show up and figure it out and do what you got to do. So the title of today is Winging It, how to show up and effectively deliver what you got to do. So many people in the world, they're full of knowledge, information, they're an expert in their field, but here's the deal. There's only two things that exist in life, in a human existence while we're here having this experience, and that's faith and fear. If you're living in fear, you show up and you squall and you go, ooh, oh, not me, not now, I don't know it, and it's all in there. But if you have faith, the faith is a substance of all things not yet seen, because it's all in your surface. You know, the Titanic crashed into an iceberg because of people who like to see things. There was a captain that had no vision and saw a tip of an iceberg this big. That's what he saw, Brian. But his faith didn't show him that the rest of the iceberg carried on as that triangle. He didn't realize that. And he ran the ship into it and killed thousands of people. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm absolutely excited today to introduce you a gentleman that's a faith walker like myself. Most important, more than anything else, that's how we connected, through our faith. Both fathers, investor, real estate, successful businessman. Listen, one of the things I've been trying to do for a while, when I was in the Marine Corps, I had the knowledge, I had the fortitude, I had the ability to even jump out of perfectly good airplanes. I love thrills, but I didn't have the eyesight that they needed to become a pilot. My good friend Dean is also a pilot. He's a bad, watch your mouth, pilot too, right? I remember last time I was in Hawaii, we flew together. He took me on one of the most craziest helicopter rides in your life. And today, you get a chance to go on a virtual helicopter ride. He's just gonna show up and do his thing. We didn't know what we were teaching today, but he's gonna show up and be magnificent. So without any further ado, my friend and now family member, I love this man to death. Obviously, he's not my favorite person in the world. Let's clarify that. That's Vinny, so don't feel bad, Vinny. But him and Vinny are like this, which is making Dean kind of second on that poll right now. You know what I'm saying? So I love this man to death. Dean, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mr. Dean Park from Hawaii. Aloha! Floor is yours, sir.
Well, good morning and aloha. For most of you, it's probably afternoon. For us here, it's 7 a.m. Just I look a little bit tired, bear with me here. I was in an MRI last night. I should have been only in there for 20, 30 minutes. I was in there for a couple hours. So, yeah, so I'm good now. But I woke up this morning. They're trying
to see your greatness, Dean. That's what they were trying to do. Sorry.
So I woke up this morning kind of thinking what I want to talk about. You know, I want to talk about, motivation, success principles, time management. I want to talk about goal setting, business strategies. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go here and come here and just give you guys something that, here's the thing like Obama said. Successful people, when we're thinking things, we can do things on the fly, which is kind of what I thought about Asira. That Asira, when we're on there prospecting, talking to people, it's not going to be scripted. It's going to be on the go. So that's what I kind of want to share with you tonight. But for starters, I like to have fun. I want to ask you guys a question. What's the difference between a poor and a rich mindset? Think about that for a second. And I'm going to make this a joke, kind of, all right? So a poor mindset is people that poor. They pass over opportunity regularly, okay? The rich mindset knows that is residual income creates happiness. And that's what we basically all in the team are trying to do, right? Create happiness is what we're doing, right? The poor people don't think that way. So obviously, who do you want to work with is the rich mindset. And that's what you all folks here are. So first of all, I just want to thank Obama for, number one, introducing me to this great Asira business and more yet, this Asira family. Because, it's very cool to be around like-minded, committed people, which is that C in Asira, right? The C, the committed family. And that's what makes things work. So thanks, Obama, for giving me this chance to come here. And thank you all on this team for sharing your knowledge, too, because your knowledge, I'm taking notes, and it's so invaluable. So I kind of came up with a new definition of Asira. For you guys want to know, it's kind of cool. I thought it was cool because it motivates me, is achieving success comes inside Asira. And that's what we're here to do. We're going to learn, grow, and earn at the same time. So I think I only have an hour. I think it's about an hour, right? Or about an hour. So I talk kind of fast, so you guys might want to take good notes because I speak fast. But what I'm going to share with you today, what I'm thinking about now, has changed my life. And I got an idea now what I'm going to talk about. So hold on and let's get started. All right, I'm a people guy. I love live interaction. Okay, so this is going to be a little different today. I know everyone's all here is muted today. Do me a favor. I want everyone, so this is my view, is I'm going to push everybody today out of their comfort zone, if that's cool with you guys. Because my view is that if you can't grow here and get out of your comfort zone here, you ain't doing it out in the real world. We're a family here, right? So in family, we can push ourselves. So everybody do me a favor and unmute yourself because I'm going to start have fun today. All right. And if you guys are cool with this, I don't care if it's noise. Who cares? That's noise. It's fine. Distractions are good. So that's what we get in life. We have distractions, but it's how we weed them out. Okay? So let's have fun. I'm just going to wing it. 2, if you guys are okay with it, everybody go to live video. All right? Everybody go to live video. And while you guys do this, if you can't, I understand. If you're driving, don't do it. I don't want to be responsible for an accident because that's not what I want to do here. But if you can't, I understand. And while you're doing that, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. Obama, thanks for the introduction. He said, yes, I live here in Hawaii. I was an airline pilot. That was my dream. That was my vision for my entire life, was nothing else but just become an airline pilot, become a captain of a wide-body jet at a young age. And I got lucky. I hit that when I was 24. You know, right? So I've been in the airline world for a while. But what I realized is when I got there, I achieved my goal, my dream. I didn't really know what else I wanted to do, but something came to me. The man upstairs gave me a plan. He gave me 9/11. When 9/11 came around, we all kind of lost our jobs. And you know what? I lost mine. But it was a blessing in its own disguise. You know, things happen to us, not, happens for us, not to us, right? So because of that, it got me back into my journey again, getting more committed to my personal development side and my entrepreneur side. And that's where my businesses actually started to take off. So real quick, while we have here, I like interaction. I want to get to know everybody so everyone knows everybody on this team because we're a big family. Just real quick, if you can follow these simple 3 instructions, that's it. 3 things is, again, all I want to know is your name, where you're from, and 1 thing about you. That's it. Literally less than 3 seconds. Easy. Hi, I'm Dean. I'm from Hawaii, and I love flying. Everyone just keep going. I'll just go off there and take some notes. Go ahead.
I'm from Atlanta, and I love being happy.
I am Tim. I'm from Arizona, and I love golf.
I'm Fasana. I'm from Toronto, and I have green eyes.
I'm Annie, and I'm from Toronto, and I love to laugh.
Hi, my name's Alka Sharma, and I live in Toronto, Canada, and my passions are Latin and ballroom dancing.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Boland. I am from North Bay, Ontario, and I love dogs and horses.
Hey, I'm Vinny Cochran. I'm from North Carolina, and I love people.
Hey, my name is Omar Moses. I'm from Toronto, and I love kale.
Okay, I'm gonna go. My name is Peter Jung, and I live in also Toronto area, and I recently gained a love for cats. I used to be a dog person.
Cool.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, my name is Kella. I'm from Hawaii as well, and I love EDM music. Yeah.
Is that everybody? Get out of your comfort zone. I'm going to give you guys a second here. That's it. All right, 1.
Hey, everybody.
There you go.
My name is Athea,
thank you.
and I love to read.
Awesome. And where are you from?
I'm from Tampa.
Tampa. All right, awesome. All right, Florida. Anybody else? Going once, going twice.
Hey, hello everybody. Awesome. Here's Leo. I am from Brazil, and I love education. So that's why I'm connected with all these amazing people here.
Brazil. Awesome. Okay.
My name's Adam Moss. I'm from Toronto, Canada, and I just like to have a good time.
Awesome. Well, cool, guys. I think that's everyone here. I appreciate you guys taking me out of your comfort zone. Now I know where I can travel and I can go stay for free. I'm just kidding. Okay. So real quick, this is what I wanted to do. This is communication and rapport. To me, is just not a key in network marketing, but it's key in any business, right? Is learning how to communicate, learning how to talk face to face, and it's also it's also just a way of life. We forget that. So that's why I wanted everyone to have a little fun here, get to know everybody, and 2, we're a family. So it was kind of benefiting from me too as well. So my topic I'm thinking about now is what I'm thinking is applying what you already know. Okay. We know things, but a lot of times we don't apply it. So let's have a little fun here. I'm gonna do something now. I just thought of this. My mentor years ago did something that put me on the spot, and I'm not gonna put you guys on the spot, but I'm gonna have a little fun with you guys, if that's okay with your permission, okay? I'm gonna make you guys think this morning a little bit. So my goal today is by the end of this, my objective, my outcome for you guys is you're gonna remember something very clearly that you guys know, and you won't forget it, okay? So here's what I'm gonna ask you guys. Who here has ever read the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People? I'm gonna say majority of you guys, right? All right.
Yep.
All right. For those of you that haven't, you're in for a treat. But those that you have, great. Let me ask you a question. We play a little game here. How do I want to do this? Let's do this here. Just real quick. I'm going to ask a question. Okay. Habits. When we form habits and we ingrain them, we know them right away. Like getting up, brushing our teeth, getting up, taking a shower. They're habits. We continue to do them. They can become routines. So let me ask this then. So just real quick, what's like a habit? 1 + 1. I mean, this is something knowledge. What's 1 + 1? Somebody speak out.
7.
2.
Okay, what's 2 + 1?
3.
What's 3 + 1?
4.
What's 4 + 1?
5.
5.
What's 5 + 1?
6.
What's 6 + 1?
7.
7. All right, 7. Now, if I was going to ask you the same thing, remember how fast you answer these questions, okay? How fast you answer these questions, because you know them right on the top of your head. They're on your conscious mind. You know them. Now, let me ask you a question. What's habit number 3? What's habit number 4? What's habit number 7? What's habit number 2? What's habit number 1? So, my point today is this, is that these habits, I'm going to show you now. I'm going to teach you today how you'll never forget habits. You're going to ingrain them so well in your head today that they're going to be like 1 + 1, 1, 2 + 2, 3, 3 + 1, 4, 4 + 5. That's going to show you guys tonight. That's okay. You guys ready for this challenge? Have fun? All right, so let's do this here. I'm going to put this thing to, how do I do this here? All right, let's do this here. Let's have a little fun here. Let's have this here. Habits are what create us, and when we know habits and we do them, they change. So let me tell you what happened to me. So when I lost my flying job back in 2001, my mentor gave me this book. I read it, and I didn't really fully understand it. And when he asked me these questions, I didn't really understand what the habits were. He goes, Dean, if you change this, you read it and you apply it, and you apply what you learn here, your life will change. It took me from being broke to where I wanted to be in literally 1 year. So let's break these habits down. Okay, so if you've got a pen and paper, write this down. And what I want to do is I'm going to correlate these things with Asira. Okay, so my goal today is to use this, what I'm going to teach you, how you can use it in your Asira business. Okay, that helps. So habit number 1, and by the way, just so you guys know, I'm not trying to pick on anybody here, but all of you know these habits. You're doing them right now. You've been doing them as entrepreneurs. You just don't realize it. But when you realize why you're doing it and how you're doing it, your life's going to change. So let's start with this then. Number 1, habit number 1 is being proactive. If you think about it, everyone here is already being proactive because they were looking for something better and they got in part of Asira. Being proactive, you went out and looked for something, right? You're out there and you're now part of Asira. You know, it's funny. Okay, so habit number 2 is beginning with the end in mind, right? So I'm going to assume everyone here is not just getting on board to become a bronze or a silver, right? That's not the end in mind. Most of you probably, your vision, like Obama and myself, is to become a royal ambassador. So that's beginning with the end in mind. We know what we're looking for. That's the end game, okay? After you have that end game, guess what you need next is first things first. What are we doing right now? That's what we're doing right now. Right now, we're all in pre-launch phase, right? It's the first thing. We're getting ready for the launch. We're getting ready to get things. That's the first thing first. So we're getting ready for the launch, which eventually, if we build and keep building on this launch, because what happens is it's going to continue to grow, and it's going to end up getting to where you're end in mind, which is a royal ambassador. Hope that makes sense to all you guys. Habit number 4, okay? Habit number 4 is win-win. And I'm like intentionally slowing myself down because I talk so fast, it'll be crazy. So win-win. So if you think about it, what's win-win with Asira? I love this. I love John's vision because, you know, he had this vision or all these, if you think about it, he had all these visions already laid out for us. Win-win. It's a company for the people. All right. It's helping others. It's helping us. So if you think about it, it's a win-win-win scenario. He's winning, we're winning, and our prospects are winning. So in reality, it's a win-win-win scenario, correct? Then let's go with habit number 5. This is an important one, okay? Is seek to understand, then be understood. I believe that in recruiting or business or anything that we do in life, a lot of times we want to just do everything, say everything about us before asking many questions. That's why God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, is to listen more and talk less, right? This is a prime example of listen carefully. Because if you listen carefully to what the prospect is saying or the business person is saying or what you're working on, a lot of times they're going to tell you what they need and want. But a lot of times we're so busy rambling things off and not listening because we're thinking of the next question to ask, then we forget those little nuggets they're going to throw at us. So seek to understand. So basically here is what do our prospects in the current situation need and want. A lot of time, what they need and want is either more time or more money, or in some case, both. So if we listen to those things, we know that our plan can do that. It can give them more time, give them more money, give them more freedom. It gives them literally our plan. What's beautiful about Asira is that this platform gives everyone a life change, okay? Habit number 6 is synergize. Now, synergize, that's what we're doing here as a family, right? We're here to plug in. We're here to bounce each other's energy off, bounce each other's ideas off, and learn how to grow. That's really, really key. And then habit number 7, okay? Habit number 7 is a great one. This is my favorite one of all of them, okay? Next to being proactive, is sharpening the saw. You've heard that saying, sharpen the saw. Is what we're doing now. We're constantly improving our minds, okay? We're constantly changing, constantly feeding ourselves. Because you think about it, if we're not growing, we're dying. At the end of the day, if we're not growing, we're dying. So for us, we want to keep feeding ourselves. And guess what? What I love about Asira and I love about this family, we're growing every single day. Every day we're growing, whether it's with a family, whether we're growing with prospects, growing with a company, we're constantly growing. And that's beautiful. That just to me is one of the most awesome things in the world. Now, here's the funny thing. Most people now stop at level 7. They get through that whole process, they, like I just explained to you guys, is they stop at 7. Now, if you think about it, I believe everything is like cycles. Everything comes in cycles, summer, winter, night, dark. Now, just because you got there, now you hit it, now you got to cycle again and can become proactive again. So you're always looking at ways to constantly improve yourself. And this is how we're constantly, because things are going to change. And I'll explain that here in a second. Give me a sec here. Okay. So the way I look at it is this. You subconsciously know all this stuff, right? You all know how you guys are doing this in your businesses, in your life, because you guys, like I said, you guys are applying this every single day. All right. Now that you constantly know it, you kind of get a better feeling of what these habits are, right? But now I think that when you know why and how you're doing these habits really change your life. They come out, and if you live them and they grow, they constantly help you improve. Again, this changed my life tremendously. It changed my life. My mentor, who was a billionaire, did this for me in front of a huge group. And it was very surprising for me to see how many people, again, I'm not putting anyone on the spot here, have read the book. I read the book too, but it was like, okay, I didn't apply it. The lesson I learned was that if you just read things, okay, my lesson is if you just read things and don't apply it, it's education, is what it is. But by applying it, it becomes knowledge. Okay, actually, hold on. By applying it and using it, sorry, let me add that. By applying it and using it, it becomes knowledge. And that's really what Asira is all about. It's about knowledge, right? That's what we talk about. And that's why I love the integrity of this company. So everything we talk about, we do. So by applying what you knew, like the 7 habits that you now are in your memory, if you ever want to think about the 7 habits again, you kind of go back to thinking how you're building your Asira business. All right, you go back to how you're building it, and you can plug those habits in. When I first learned this principle of these habits, and after I read the book, I literally went every day and said in my life, okay, cool, what habit today what habit am I on right now in my mindset? Where am I at? Okay, am I working my habits that I want to go to my business? So applying, so habits, like everything else, you need to add one more element now. Just the habits alone aren't going to make you successful. Okay, so what is that other thing we need that we got to add to the habits? All right, is goals. Okay, now you got the blueprint of what you're going to do, your aim point. Everyone needs goals. Goal setting to me is important. So once you have the habits understood, you put the goals behind these things. The next thing happens is just watch what happens. Things change dramatically. Okay. So I've got a little challenge that I want to put out for everybody here. So the challenge that I wanted to push out there is how will you guys apply these habits in your life? Or more, let's forget about how would you apply these habits into your own Asira business? So you know what's great hearing, but I'm all about action. Okay, so I want you guys all today, I'm giving you guys a challenge or an assignment that you guys can do. And you know, I tell people that whenever you start something new, you hear something new, one of the principles I learned from my mentor was that right on the spot, you take some sort of action. Because if you don't take some sort of action, you say, I'll do it later, you procrastinate, you put things off. In this Asira business, don't do that. Because what happens is you'll do what I did. Let me tell you from my own experience, okay? Obama called me about this great opportunity when he was first starting out, okay? He called me out and I looked at it and I procrastinated for weeks, for weeks. And by that procrastination, you know what's funny is that I lost positioning of where I could be in the company, okay? So it could have been different. But my point of the story is that a lot of times when we procrastinate, if you put things off, we lose what can be coming to us, losing opportunities, losing income, losing property. I'm not saying I'm perfect because I procrastinated too. I've lost deals, I've lost money, I've lost position points, I've lost things. But guess what? It's that you learn from those things and you move forward. So I'm telling you right now in life, what I learned now is that whenever I learn something new, I put it on paper, on paper, and I write it down. So actions today is what I want you guys to do. So what I want you guys to do is think again. With the 7 habits we just talked about, how would you apply this to your Asira business and even to your life? So let me give you some examples how I'm using this platform. Now, what I'm showing you guys is I do it myself. I'm not just preaching this thing. I'm literally doing it myself. So I'm going to show you how I use this for myself. This is just Dean's example. Okay, folks. So for me, being proactive is Asira for me is to change lives. Okay, create legacies. And for me, my vision is to become a diamond factory. All right, that's what my vision. That's how I'm being proactive with what I want to do with Asira. For me, beginning with the end in mind. My goal with Asira is to change 1,000 lives. That's what I want. I want to change 1,000 lives. Is what I personally want to change 1,000 lives. Is what I want to do. That's with the end in mind. Okay. Now this is not okay. First things first. What do I have to do first in order to basically to achieve my my end goal? Is basically what I've got to do is I've got to master the system, and more importantly, continue to get out of my own comfort zone. Listen, guys, we all have comfort zones. And believe it or not, getting out of them is not difficult. It's just creating, again, habits of how you want to get out of them. Okay. So for me, getting out, and so my talk's not about comfort zone today, but so is for Dean to get out, is continue to get out of my own comfort zone. Habit number 4, which is the win-win for me, is helping others grow, I grow. So for me, helping more other people, helping other people get ahead, helping them understand what life, how Asira can help them, by them growing, it's already growing me. So for example, the small team that I have, the power of what they're doing is actually, it's empowering me to see them grow, and it's empowering me because I'm feeding off their energy. Synergy. It's simple. It's this team. It's this team which will keep, my view is that we're going to have good days and bad days in Asira. Okay. Good days and bad days. But when you have the long-term vision, it's not going to matter. But the support that you have, the energy, the positive people are going to keep you down, not the naysayers. Or like Obama says, the ants, right? Forget those people. We don't need them. But we have us right here, the group here, and we're the ones that are going to keep us going, keep us, like I said, we are a family. So family helps family grow. Even when there's downtimes, we're going to help everyone grow. And then sharpening the saw. Again, it's continuous learning. For me, it's continuous. I continuously learn every single day. I learn by people in this family. I learn from my team, or my family, I should say. And I learn from my own family. Like my own little 5-year-old son has taught me things. Okay. And I love it. But with Asira, what I learned is that for me, sharpening the saw with the Asira business is learning from you folks, learning from the person of it, learning And I have a thing that I do every single that I do. It's kind of funny. Everyone, if you want to get successful with a CRO or any business, I want you to write this thing down. It's funny. I want you to write down lie, steal. I'm saying lie, cheat, and steal. Give you guys a second. I want you. This is actually cool. All right. So in order to be successful with any business, let's just use a CRO today because this is what we're talking about. In order to get ahead, you're gonna have to lie, cheat, and steal. Now you're probably wondering, what the heck am I talking about? Here's what it comes down to: is you're gonna have to lie in bed and think of how you can improve your CRO business. You gotta lie in bed and think of ways that you can improve yourself. You gotta lie in bed and think how you can improve others, help others as well. Okay, you're always thinking they're lying for new ideas. Lay in bed. I say cheat. You got cheat time. We all have 24 hours in a day. And one of my mentors years ago said the difference between successful people and the average people is that we all have 24 hours in a day. It's what they do with that 24 hours. It's called strategy. So for the next, however long you want to build, but for the next couple of months, our goal is to cheat time. We can cheat a little time now. Take a little an hour out of here, cheat time to have the time you want for the rest of your life. And when I heard that from my mentor one time, I'm like, wow. He goes, right now, Dean, if you want to get down ahead, just cheat time. Take a little hour. We all have time. You just got to change your time zone, your time blocks, and change what you do. I'm like, all right, I can cheat time now to know that I have time for the rest of my life, my family, my friends, and do what I want when I want. I can do that. And then steal. He says, Dean, steal people's ideas, steal people's thoughts, steal people's messages, all right? And then use them as your own to empower other people as well. So when I heard that, I'm like, wow, okay, steal, lie, cheat, and steal is how I built my businesses, by doing stuff, right? I hope that makes sense to you guys. So what will be yours? You know, at the end of the day, I hope you guys really do take some action with this thing, and put these habits into play. And you know, if you want to get ahead, I'm going to give you another one. This is kind of fun. Guys want to know the real secret to getting what you want? Want to know how to reach a royal ambassador? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to write you these words down. Number one is decide. Decide on exactly why you're doing this business. Decide. E is execute a plan with a purpose. Not just any plan. If you just execute a plan is not a plan. It's like a to-do list. A lot of times we've all, I don't know about all, but a lot of times to-do lists kind of do things that are not important. But when you have a must list, it's different. The only difference is that between a to-do and a must list is you got a reason or a purpose behind that. So E is execute a plan on a purpose. A is take action daily. I don't care if it's 1 hour, I don't care if it's 30 minutes, is creating a habit or creating a routine. Take action every single day. And the last one is N, is never give up. If you give up, the way I looked at it was, I'll give you a story. I'm a story guy. When I got involved with real estate, I was broke, and I had a mentor. And I started going out and marketing. Things weren't happening. I was spending hundreds of dollars on marketing. Nothing came in. Ran out of marketing dollars, so I started going out physically knocking on doors. And this is in Phoenix, Arizona at the time, in the middle of summer, 105, 110 degree heat. I'm knocking on doors, and I decided, you know what, this is not working. After about the 100th door, I told my mentor, I can't do this. It's not working. And he goes, Dean, this is the problem with people. They quit. They quit before they get ahead. He goes, if you can do me a favor, do not quit. Do not quit until you get your first deal. Just do this. Do not quit till you get your first deal, and then let's see about quitting. I said, fine. So I rushed to go out and get my first deal because I wanted to get out of this thing, and I got it. And what I realized was that when I got my first deal, the time I was about $70,000 in debt, that first deal, believe it or not, my profit was exactly $70,000 to the nail. And so he goes, Dean, you got your check now. How many doors did you knock on? I said, about 200. Now divide that into how much you made and look at that number and go, holy cow. Because you want to quit now? I'm like, nope, let's continue. So never give up. So here's why I look at it. Look at this. We're going to have no's, we're going to have yeses, but to get to your Royal Ambassador, look at that as like my first deal. So Royal Ambassador, as I look at it, is like, that was my first deal. We're going to go through tribulations. We're going to do knocks. We're going to get things. We're going to get no's. But eventually, if we don't quit, we will all get there. So like, you know, I look back at my mentor and that $70,000 that I had, I looked, he actually, after I was done, he goes, Dean, if you quit this and you had a day job, how long would it have taken you to go out there and pay back all that credit card debt? And I'm like, well, shoot, I looked at the thing, it would have been like 8 years to pay it back with the minimum payments. I'm like, holy cow. He goes, Dean, you did it in under a year and you're going to quit. So my moral story here is never give up. Now, I guarantee you will never forget those what I just gave you, the 4, because if you look carefully, it spells Dean. Decide, execute, action, never give up. So, you know, so now you'll remember who I am, and hopefully I gave you guys some message. Like I said, I talked pretty fast. Said I knew it probably wasn't going to go for an hour, but I'll tell you what I'll do instead is this, is that if anyone has any questions, you know, I'd love to answer them. But like I said, you know, this is, our habits are created, all right? You've got to create them, but they're not going to come to you. And so if I want you really today, the main takeaway I'd love for you guys to take away from this today is this, is that understand these, because for me, they seem so simple. But a lot of times the simplest things is what makes it changes our lives, not the complicated things. I'm literally, I probably act and ask my good friend Tim, I play and act like a 16-year-old. So when I start working with guys who, you know, these big guys, I'm like, you got to dumb it down for me. I'm like this kid that wants to have fun like on a 4th grade level. So my view is that's how I built my business. My mentor, who was a billionaire, could barely read. He didn't know, he wasn't the smartest guy in the world, but he kept things simple. The problem that us in life is we try to complicate things. And so for me, the simpler you can keep it, you all heard of the KISS model. Sorry, I'm full of acronyms, guys. KISS is keep it simple, stupid. You know, that's the model that I live by. And if I can't keep it simple and dumb it down, then it's not for me. So this model for a syrup, you gotta realize how simple it is. Okay, I'll give you another golden nugget here. Since I'm on a little roll here, let's have a little fun here. You guys okay? You guys okay with that? You guys good? All right. A good mentor of mine gave me this analogy, and I'll give it to you right now. Simple versus easy. Write this down. Simple versus easy. All right. I wasn't gonna do this, but let's have fun. Climbing Mount Everest, believe it or not, is very, very, very simple. You may not think so right now, but I'm going to prove it to you here in a second. How it's simple. Because if you think about it, to climb Mount Everest, all it really takes for you to do it is to do one simple thing. Is put one foot in front of the other. That's how simple it is, right? Simple. Everyone can do it. But it's not going to be easy. And here's why. Excuse me. It's not going to be easy because, number one, you're going to freeze your butt off. Number two, you're carrying a heck of a lot of gear. Number three, you're dealing with elevation. You're dealing with the weather. Three, you can probably fall and die. So it's not easy at all. But I'll tell you what, if you can reach the summit of Mount Everest, and you made it down there and you make it down back, guess what? The second time will be easier. The third time will be even easier. You keep doing it like those shoppers that go up and down. To them, it's a breeze. But now imagine this now. Once you got to the top of Mount Everest, climbing a smaller mountain, any other mountain in the world is actually relatively easy. It's the mountain we're climbing. So I love the analogy of Asira's plan, you know, how the promotion ranks. It's just a mountain. Look at that as Mount Everest. Every step is easy. We just got to keep it simple. But it's not, I mean, it's simple, but it's not going to be easy. But I'll tell you what, once we get to the top, it gets easier. And guess what? When it gets easier, it's easier for us to teach as well. And our team grows. So with that being said, you know what? Like I said, I have an hour, but I talk fast. I can throw more stuff out there, or if someone wants questions, I'll answer them. But I hope that was valuable to you guys, an insight. I can go on another topic, but it'll probably go for a while. But anyone have any questions?
Dean, that's perfect. We have questions coming in already, and I'll filter the questions. Fasana, if you can get questions from Facebook, that would be great. But we have a question from here right now, Dean, from Peter. Peter says, you know, once you're ready for question and answer, he's going to ask his question. So Peter, go ahead and ask your question.
first of all, Dean, I think you're Korean. So from a Korean brother to another Korean brother, I look up to you. This was such a, let's just say, impactful power hour. Hit me deep right in the core. So I just want to say thank you for your presentation today. But yeah, I got a great question for you. In my opinion, it's great. I want to ask you, so when you started to just finally get the roll of things and you start to notice the momentum start to pick up, what kind of person did you develop into when it came to communication skills? What kind of influence did you feel when you start to feel that momentum roll up? Because I find that a lot of people who are starting this business or any kind of business in general, you kind of feel like an imposter, and that's the main subject that I've been talking about for the last week, imposter syndrome. And I think what we're trying to do is identify ourselves to becoming that leader position who feels comfortable going out there and approaching people with this business or whatever business that you're doing. But with your life experience when it came to finding momentum, what kind of like self-development, just say in terms of communication, what did you find when it comes to influence that really changed how people were reacting to you when it came to your presentation?
Good question. That's an easy one, good one. By the way, I love your background. And I was going to ask you if you're a Korean, by the way, because your name, I was like, I wonder if he's Korean. It's awesome. Awesome. Again, remember these habits were already ingrained in your head? This is the beautiful. Remember these habits that, like I said, you guys already know them. You already know the answer. Okay, you already have the ability to do it. And here's what I mean by that. Is like a lot of times, yes, I was the same way too. Going and knocking on doors, going out there. I was a shy kid. Believe it or not, you'll be surprised. I was a very shy kid. My comfort zone was very small. Okay. But then when I went out there and realized that it wasn't because I was doing it for me, is I was doing it for somebody else. Let me give you an example. You ever made a cold call for yourself? It's hard to do. It's nervous. You're like, the phone feels like a 200-pound brick. You're like, But when you have to make a call on behalf of somebody else, isn't it easier?
Yeah, you're just wingmanning. You're just wingmanning someone.
Bingo. So all we're doing here, think about this thing. What we're doing is we're not doing this for ourselves. When you think about doing it for ourselves, it's hard because you think we're being an imposter. But if you're doing it as true purpose, true reasons why, you're doing it for them. You know what? I'm here to give you. I'm here to serve you. That's when my mindset says, you know what? You guys are in foreclosure. I don't need your house, but I want to help you. When I realized that it was about them, make it about them, not about us. Because when it's about us, it's hard to sell. Like, think about it. When you have to sell something and you don't believe in it, it's hard to sell. Because then you become a salesperson. But when it's something you believe in, like your product, you did an awesome job, by the way, right? You sold things, you're selling things because you believe in it. When you believe in it, it changes. You got to believe in what you're selling. If you don't believe it, you're in sales and you'll never get out of the zone. You got to believe in it. And number two is make it about them, not about you.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you so much.
Cool. Awesome. Good question, by the way. So anyone have questions, this is how we can learn more. So good. We should chat one time. So I'm your Haseo, that's all I know. So, sorry.
That's my favorite one. Awesome. So Fasana, any questions from Facebook?
Not yet.
Okay, good. So Dean, I got a couple questions for you because a lot of times I share with a lot of folks how all basically wealthy people think the same way. Some consciously, some unconsciously, and those who do it consciously are the ones that are becoming more and more wealthier because they know exactly what they're doing. They're creating systems, they're creating processes, so on and so forth. But I share and I teach a lot that there is a language of the wealthy that the wealthy speak. And it is not actually verbal. It is through a different modality of communication, from the inflation of tone and tonality and words and what we say. But another wealthy person is just the same. Like, wealthy is another race or gender. Like, Peter just recognized you were Korean. Me and Vinny walked into the room, we realized we're both caramel macchiato chocolate guy, right? Everybody knows that. And wealth is the same. So the reason why I kind of preface that, the context, is a few of these questions I'm going to ask. And I just want to get just real, like no filter, it doesn't matter. You and I, we ain't going to hurt each other's feelings. But I just want to talk about connecting how we met, kind of what was the premise of how we met, your mind frame, your mindset, and that whole process of how we actually became friends and what happened there from like day one. What was that whole thing of how we met?
It's funny. It's all about networking. So my business partner, believe it or not, called me and goes, hey, I got a guy. He seems very knowledgeable, gonna be front. And he goes, but I can't tell if he's for real or if he's full of it. So would you meet him? So I'm pretty good at vetting people. I can read people very, very well. So when I went there, I talked to him. I'm like, I can't really read this guy. He's actually could be legit. So anyhow, we hung out more, and the more I hung out with Obama, the truer he got. His integrity showed. You know, one of the things I say in life is that sometimes when integrity is when they come out real strong, I wonder, is it a game? But his integrity kept growing and growing and growing, and that's what connected me with Obama, that it grew. It's like a flower. You put a seed in and it keeps growing. It's not just flourishing right away. So we flourished that thing. And two, because of that, we became friends. You know, became acquaintances, and then two, our families connected. That was a big one too, is our families connected, came over and had a good time. And from that is how we built our relationship. And you know what's funny is that I always believe that God always opens doors and closes doors. Okay, that's the way I want to say. He opens doors and closes doors. The way me and Obama met, I got to say, in a joking way, Obama, cost me $2 million to meet Obama. Just so you know, it literally cost me $2 million. Tim and my CPA is laughing now because it cost me $2 million to meet Obama. I had to open up a family fun center, which I did for my kid to have fun. To open a family fun center here. And because of COVID-19, we actually lost we lost like 3 businesses in COVID-19. Okay. But the blessing behind that is that, again, you got to think positive, right? So the blessing behind that was, had I not opened these fund centers, I would never have met my business partner, Mike. I would never have met Obama. So in life, guess what? We have to use what we have and realize that everything comes to us is a gift. There's a saying I'll give to you. Yesterday was the past. Tomorrow's the future. Today's a gift. It's why it's called the present. So I look at every day, I get a present every single day. I get a present by all you guys on this call because it's encouraging. That's how Obama met, and that's how we became friends, and then that's how I'm part of this Asira family.
That's cool. And it's funny you said that too, Dean, because, you know, we talked about the different things, you know, characteristic wise, and I'm going to go into that question that's kind of in my head. But I want you to share a little bit more on really that same reason of, you know, closing that business out, and we'll talk about that. But what was your top 3 traits or things for like really becoming vested as a friend in someone else, especially if they're kind of equally yoked the same way you are? What's the top 3 things you look for? And, you know, how did I measure up? Obviously, I'm there. I don't even know what those are. This is my first time to ask you. I know what mine are, but what are yours, and how did I measure up with that?
Good. So number 1 is integrity. That's the first thing. You know what? Integrity is that, maybe back at the first one was that our spirituality is that we're both Christian brothers. That's the one. So that was the number 1 platform. That's like the common denominator, which knows that we have kind of the same beliefs. Number 2 was that the integrity which built on his character. Okay, that's for me, Obama was that. And for me, number 3 wasn't about the business at all. Is that he was a family man. It's basically who I wanted to be. And basically it's how I can also learn and grow. Because listen, it's not always about money. I'm not saying it's not always about money, but for me, it was about, can I grow spiritually and grow a business the right way? 2, can I live with integrity? Because my point is that in this business, I'm not fluffing it up. I'm not hyping it up. That's not my plan, right? I don't want to do that. I've done that in the past. It's not what it is. I want to live with full 100% integrity, which is Obama did. Okay. And then number 3 is, for me, my most important thing is my family. Okay, you guys, my personal family. And seeing how Obama loved his child, loved what he did, loved his wife. You know what? That's the person I want to model myself to be. So that's the reason why, Obama, I connected with you, and that's the reason my top 3 things. You have the 3 values that I value the most. Business, everything comes second. You know, that all comes down later, right? But those things, no matter what happens, we can lose the business tomorrow. We can lose our money tomorrow, but those 3 things we'll build again. So for me, what I look for is people that I can surround myself with, is that if everything dropped down tomorrow, we go, let's go build again. Let's go build another platform. That's how we connect.
Thank you for that, Dean. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the love too, because I feel the same way about you, brother. It's actually the same 3 things, so we're good. We're tracking on there. Anna's laughing.
I was cracking up, actually.
Yeah. So it's crazy how we think, right? Peter says Dean is Confucius. So Confucius say, man do business, man do business. That's good. So, Dean is the modern day Confucius. I love it. So here's one I want to share, because sometimes people fully don't understand, and it's being able to be competent with yourself, and you gain and you lose. And the way successful people think is different, because one of the things Dean and I had a couple conversations with measuring this business. Do I give up this business and lose, $2 million in this thing? But it's not a loss. one of the things we talked about, and I waited for him to make the decision, then see how he felt after saying, you know what, I'm going to do it. Because the moment he made that decision, the one thing we know that $2 million cannot buy is peace of mind, right? So I want you to talk about that a bit, Dean, because here's what happens with everyone else. Fear and faith is always on that line. And the moment you made that decision, like everything changed. Talk about that chat we had that day.
All right, that's good. Actually, a good one. So yeah, there's fear there. You know, the fact that you're losing that kind of money, for anyone, it's a lot of money, regardless. I'm not saying for me it's a lot of money. But here's what I realized though, is that I can hold on to that grudge, hold on to that negativity, hold that stuff on. But what's it gonna do for me? In reality, it's not gonna do for me. And here's the thing if I don't mean this in a bad way, but here, the people who make it with luck, okay, they fear because they don't think they can do it again. The people that build with faith understand that, you know what, it's just a business. I can do it again. I'll make it someplace else. But here's what I did realize though, is for me, is that in business, what do we get in business for? Obviously, obviously make money and sell it. Obviously, that's what time and make and eventually sell. What I realized too, I want to add one thing there too, for me, is that it is giving, obviously, Obama really is giving value. You know, so me, what I love about a series, the reason why I jumped on was that, forget it. You know what? It wasn't my calling to be in this business anymore. Sometimes you may get a calling, you know what? But we're holding on to it still because we think this is all we know. It's not true. You know what? We can let go and learn that he's closing a door because, you know what? He's giving you something better down the road. But we got to accept it. So we got to realize that we can't live in that world of fear. We live in that world of fear. That same fear will drive you crazy in this business too. Fear that you're not good enough. Fear that you can't recruit. Fear that you can't, build a team. It's all BS. You can't. Okay, especially with a guy like this guy right here. I'm pointing at Obama. Dude, you don't understand how lucky we are to have this guy. I mean, I'm just telling you from real. I've never seen somebody build a company like this guy is doing now. Never. Okay. Actually, when I joined Asira, it wasn't even Asira. I barely broke the comp plan. I mean, look, actually to this day, I barely really looked at the comp plan, just skimmed it because my faith is on Obama. And number two is that I'm not worried about all those other levels right now, because right now what I'm worried about is the team and growing, because eventually we'll get there. That's what I look at, right? We're going to get there anyhow. It's like going from first grade to 12th grade. You can't go to 12th grade without going through first, second, third, fourth. So you're going to go through bronze, silver, all those levels too. And that's what I'm saying. I'm just learning bronze level right now. Then I'm learning silver. Then I'm learning next level. That's what I'm talking about. So the fear, hope that answers your question in a little way, Obama. But yeah, as far as the fear goes, yeah, it was a blessing in its own disguise, because you got to take what you learn from that. Look, there's not a failure, is a mistake. Okay, there were challenges. But how do I take those and grow and apply it to the next thing? So again, you know what I did? I took the same 7 habits and put them back and go, cool, what am I doing next now? I gotta be proactive. What do I want? I can go, definition of proactive is you can control it, or they can control you. For being proactive, I'm controlling it. And that's why I come back to these 7 habits day up on whenever I got issues. So I hope that answers your question, Bobo.
Yes, brother. And that part, because I remember that day we were having a conversation, and the fear is real. It's funny for me. Sometimes I put more thought into the smaller things and way less into the huge things, because it's the little things that has the ability to grow, but the big things have already grown. So while I was in the military, a lot of my guys used to say all the time, like, you stress over the little stuff, and then the big things, like, it's like you don't even care. And what they were missing, I told them, I says, listen, if you're messing up the little stuff, you don't get the fundamentals right for the system of who we are to become a successful infantryman. When we go into combat and you die, it's too late. It's too late. And all we can do at that point is cry. So I'm going to harp on your butt so that you never die. And I say that to say this, all those little things that added up to that big decision that came down to like a yes or no, do I move or do I go? Once you made the decision and you decide, you know what, I'm going to do this, what happened in your world? Like mentally, emotionally, spiritually, what happened after you made that decision?
You know what? The floodgates open up. Literally, the floodgates open up. The synergy, things come to you. I know it sounds crazy, but it does, because you know what? It's like what you mentioned in one of the calls, the RAS, the particular activity system. We're opening it up, and things are coming our way, which you normally would never see. It's amazing. I got a quote for you just on that one saying you did here. It's a great quote that I made up one time. It's like, just keep chipping away, and do the little things daily to achieve what I want, because eventually the small things make a big difference over time. That's all it is that we try to figure the big things out. Man, I'm a kid. I do small things. I do small things. I don't do big things. I'm trying to be simple and be, the last part, stupid. Just be play dumb. Play dumb.
Play dumb. Play dumb.
You know what's funny? I'll give you one last nugget for you guys. I'll share it to you. If everyone can draw a triangle, let's draw a triangle. Okay, I want something really cool. Just draw it. I mean, on your paper. On your paper. That's cool. Yes, that on your paper. I'll give you one last cool nugget here, because you know what? I just thought of this just now. It popped in my head. This came from my billionaire mentor. Okay, and this is how I look at businesses. And I'm going to show you what this is and why it relates to cereal quick. And I know we have like 10 minutes. Cool. So I got my thing. On the bottom right hand side, I want you to write UVA. UVA. Okay. On the very top of the triangle, I want you to write dollar signs. And on the very bottom, I just want you to put an arrow pointing down and write the word compress / compound, whatever you want to look at. Okay. So let me show you this. This was actually one of my great closes when I used to do stuff. Is this in life? My billionaire mentor said this. If you can remember this triangle, this is what successful people do every single day. Okay. Number one, the UVA, I want you to write undervalued assets. Okay. Rich people buy undervalued assets that create cash flow, that make money. And when they make money, you have to compound it. That's how the wealth get richer, and they get richer, get the rich, and the rich get richer. So you buy undervalued assets, you make money, and it's got to compound. Do you realize that that's what a SIRA is? Okay, so you see, that's what a SIRA is. Okay, regardless, a SIRA should be way higher than 199, 499, 5. I told Obama, when I got on board, it's only $5 grand. I mean, it's still $5 grand for me. That's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say it in a disrespectful way, but it's $5 grand. I would have paid 10 for this thing. Okay, because it's an undervalued asset. Number two, do you realize it will make money? Okay, it will make money. Okay, and do you realize that it does compound? Because with our team growing, it compounds. He said, everyone who builds businesses, that's what they're looking for. Because they don't want to get in a business where you got to work yourself and you got to do it yourself, right? This is how it built. So I go, wow, you know what? If you think about it, that's what the SIRA is. That's why SIRA is one of the best wealth vehicles to get us, like Obama said, a vehicle to get us where we want to go. And that's why I love this thing.
Awesome. Thank you, Dean. That I would say is beautiful, but it's gorgeous. That's sexy right there. I love it, brother. So, and as we close out here, I want to ask, what would you say your greatest skill is? Like your greatest skill. It could have been natural or one that you developed. The one thing that you just love to do, and you do that all day. You're there. What's that one skill?
Smiling. Just smiling. You know what? Because it opens people's up. That's all. I just smile. Because you know what? Because here's the thing, that everyone can do it, but you got to smile genuinely. That's the thing. You got to do it genuinely. You can, but it don't matter, right? So genuine. That's what it. Because you know what? It opens your energy. It opens you up. And that's what I just say. And because from then, everything else just kind of falls in place. And awesome. Two, being the best dad. Like us, Obama, right?
If you can leave just one nugget with everybody today, what do you hope, like the one thing they walk away from this power hour with today is? What would you like to share?
Is take action. But regardless, it's just take action. You know what? If you take action and you apply what we just taught here, I'm telling you one thing for sure. I promise you, even my buddy Tim, who knows, it will change your life. It changed mine. And this came from a billionaire. Okay, if it came from just an average person, I probably would never applied it and did this thing. Okay, I probably would just more words, more books. I've read it. But when I actually applied it, is why I said today thing is apply. Know what you apply. That's what it is. So from now on, what I want you to think is this: that here's what we're going to take away is this: every book you read from now on, book you read, whether it's Think and Grow Rich, whether any book, because Think and Grow Rich has principles. You know all those principles as well. That's what I tell people. So think about the books you read, and then now go back and go: do I apply those in my life? If not, go read them and find out how you can apply them into your life. That's what I'll get to take away today.
Awesome. So, Dean, before we go, since Tim put it out there, he didn't really take ownership of it. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate it. But I think a gift from the community here today should be that your new thing, being a new company, business, whatever it's going to run, DBA, driven by action, right? So I think that's a good one to take that on, create a new company. I'll be a coach for you. I'll be a mentor, whatever. As long as we're driven by action, that's key. That's powerful. from the
That's
bottom
first
of my
year,
heart.
actually. It's
Right?
first year. It's
Right?
first year.
Oh, right. So come, baby, come. I want to say that I love you, bro. Appreciate you sincerely. This was the perfect example because sometimes, folks, we think so much. And I know, itchy, go away. Itchy, go away. Okay, all right. She's itchy right now. A little bit. All right, itchy, go away. Good girl. So sometimes, like yesterday, I just wanted to share with everyone else. Yesterday, you were told you're going to be teaching and training something. Some people would have just freaked the heck out and whatever. I didn't even ask you anything last night. I asked you this morning, what was your topic? And you said, I'm just going to wing it. And this is what it looks like. And I want to demonstrate this because I teach through EDIP, explain, demonstrate, imitate, practice. Tell folks all the time. The demonstration here today was knowing I could put someone under pressure who is used to pressure because pressure comes in every way of life. You just have to consciously know that it is a part of life, which obviously Dean knows. Every successful person thinks the same way. He showed up today. Every one of us is an iceberg ourselves. At our base, at our core, we are filled with knowledge, information, experience, and a lot of results. But what we chose to do is turn it upside down and bury the results and the experience and everything else. And the only thing that shows up, because there's two things driving us, as I said in the beginning, faith or fear. He showed up with faith, acted in faith, and delivered one of the most powerful sessions today. Why? Because he had the faith in himself and believed in himself and know that he can do it. So let that be a lesson for any of you. You can show up. You're always filled with the answers. Dean, my man, I love you, brother. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get you back on here for another hour of power, putting a specific talk together because you're going to crush it like Bone Crusher Smith as you just did today. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, go away.
Hi, Miracle.
Tomorrow, say bye. Hi, everybody.
Hi, Miracle.
Tomorrow. Hi, everybody. Yeah. Tomorrow,
Hey, Miracle.
we are back here on the same time frame. While she's blowing kisses. On the same time, on the same link with none other than the guns of Navarone owner himself. Flex and show him, Omar. Show him them guns. Booyah, Mr. Omar Moses himself. Round 2. You guys don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this. Most people are coming out of COVID very fluffy. This gentleman's going to show you how to come out strong and muscly toned. And with that, last note before we go, Omar, drop in just one sentence. Tell him what you're going to bring tomorrow with the fire.
I'm bringing my mobility and muscle program.
Booyah.
Boom.
You got it. Mic drop. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you, everybody. Bye.
Bye, y'all. Thank you. Thanks for playing.
Bye.
See you, Bum.
Bye, buddy.